Thanks for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Shaakira, Pierre. Coming up, Minister for Finance says Citizenship by Investment Program exceeds budget projection. Japan invests $1.5 million in Dominica's fisheries sector, and Africa Day 2016 marks 22 years of Africa's reintegration. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Thanks for staying with us. The most recent development approved under the Citizenship by Investment Program is the new Jungle Bay Resort and Spa earmarked for Mount Okuma, Fishery. On Monday, along with entrepreneur and proprietor of Jungle Bay Resort, Sam Raphael, the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, met with the people of the Fishery constituency to discuss the positive impact which this new development will have on their communities. At that meeting, the Dominica leader took time to reiterate the importance and security of Dominica's Citizenship by Investment Program. He assured that the program's due diligence process meets international standards.
There is absolutely no shortcuts whatsoever in the due diligence process before we provide approval for any applicant. But on top of our due diligence exercise, which is conducted by internationally reputable firms, some of whom are former members of the FBI and CIA and MI6 and MI5. We also have very strong partnerships and agreements with governments internationally who also assist us in doing another layer of due diligence on applicants to our program.
Honorable Skerrit explained the two components of the program. Firstly, an individual who applies for citizenship can make a financial contribution, and secondly, one can gain citizenship by making an investment in real estate to include for manufacturing and agriculture. The Prime Minister explained that both Dominicans and foreigners wanting to become citizens can invest under this program. He assured that once a proposal for investment is made, applications must go through several channels before final approval.
People who have developed proposals submit this to the Invest Dominica Authority, and the Cabinet has appointed a technical committee, a technical review committee. So when that proposal comes, it goes through a technical review committee made up of senior public officers, and then there is a ministerial review committee that receives the recommendations from the technical committee. And then their recommendations are sent to the Prime Minister, who then, if he is satisfied with the project submission, will then take it to the Cabinet for final approval. And of course, there are a number of due diligence mechanisms to ensure that we get the best projects.
Additionally, the Dominica leader said measures have been put in place for staff of the CBI units and agents of the program to go through anti-money laundering training. All this is to increase due diligence at all levels.
I want to say to you very clearly, without any shred of reservation, that we are running in Dominica a legitimate, above-the-board, transparent, economic citizenship program in our country, and I want us to understand this very clearly.
In addition to the Jungle Bay Resort, which is the latest development under the program, plans are also on stream for two more developments, Wakotlet and the Petit Colibri, both in the Fishery constituency. Meantime, from the perspective of an investor, proprietor of Jungle Bay, Sam Raphael, has expressed high praise for the Citizenship by Investment Program.
It's certainly something that is very useful. It is a tool that we can use to really help to provide sustainable jobs for the island. And I would just like to share with persons who are really interested in knowing some of the details from where I stand on the program, because I think it's a very good thing. There's nothing about it that I'm embarrassed about or I feel, like I have to hide. I think that it is a program that is 100% above board, and I'm willing to share any information I have on the program with the public.
Raphael, with the assistance of government, is working feverishly to begin construction on Jungle Bay Resort before the end of 2016. In related news, the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, has revealed that the Citizenship by Investment program has surpassed the cash projection made in his last budget address. The Honorable Prime Minister credited the sustainability of the National Employment Program and post-tropical storm Erica rehabilitation to the success of the CBI program.
This year, with regards to the cash option, we have made tremendous progress. And in the budget of this year, we projected we would have raised about $80 million. I can say to you that we have surpassed that projection in the budget of $80 million. And those funds are being used in large measure to respond to Tropical Storm Erica. For the last 3 years, the National Employment Program has been fully funded by the Economic Citizenship Program. So the $7 million which I as Minister of Finance make available to Ministry of Employment, those $7 million come straight from the Economic Citizenship Program.
The Honorable Prime Minister was speaking at a town hall meeting in Fishery on Monday. The government of Japan has made a $1.5 million investment in the fishery sector of Dominica. The project involves the replacement of refrigeration equipment at the fisheries complexes in Roseau and Marigot. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Fisheries, Harold Geist, gave details of the project.
The equipment is still working, but based on discussion with our colleagues from Japan, that is it has reached what is referred to as the expected lifespan, and therefore they would like to change the equipment and new ones. So we are going to get some new freezers. There is a blast freezer at the Roseau Fisheries Complex, which is to be converted into a normal freezer, and then there are chillers and ice machines and other such equipment and machinery that this project is going to address, and that will again enhance our post-handling preparations of fish for fish and for marketing of fish in a wholesome manner.
Geist revealed that some level of trade has begun in Marigot that will require top quality fish to be exported.
Fish is very highly perishable, and therefore we need to make sure that all SPS standards are met, so that when anything leaves, any fish or any product leaves this country, is the best quality, so that it matches our nature island image, you know. In fact, many people in the region thinks that anything that comes from Dominica is probably organic, and must be. So we must present this. We must present this image, and then we must fulfill the people's desire for a healthy, wholesome product.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
Dominica joined the African community to celebrate Africa Day on Wednesday, May 25th. Africa Day 2016 will mark the celebration of 22 years since South Africa's reintegration into the Organization of African Unity, or African Union, and the international community. Africa Day originated from the African Union and is celebrated in May every year. This year's theme is Building a Better Africa and a Better World. Cultural Officer Delmans Rasmo Moses gave some history of Africa Day celebrations in Dominica.
In 1963, the Organization of African Unity declared May 25th African Liberation Day. And that is because of the struggles that were happening in Africa for independence There was the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, Mozambique. A number of nations were fighting for independence from European nations, including the British, the French, Portuguese, and so. In more recent times, the African Union changed from African Liberation Day to Africa Day. And that is because the struggle has evolved. African nations are now independent and people govern themselves. And so they're looking forward to economic development and social development of their people. Of course, political as well, but not political independence. And so that's why it's called Africa Day rather than Africa Liberation Day.
He says the preservation of Dominica's recognition of this day is important to the division.
The cultural division takes a leading role in organizing Africa Day, along with the Nyabinghi House and the National Youth Council. Because if you look at the population of Dominica, we're an African majority. And so, like Marcus Garvey said, a nation without a knowledge of its past history is like a tree without its roots. Africa's struggle is Dominica's struggle. In that, we went through colonialism. African people were enslaved, which is why people of African descent are here. We didn't have indentured labor like the other bigger Caribbean islands. And so we think it's significant because young people, and everyone needs to know about themselves. Everyone needs to know their history so that we can actually not let it repeat itself. We can take precautionary measures to prevent further oppression and just build people's confidence and pride in who they are as a people.
Representative of the House of Nyabinghi, Bernard Imani Shaw, gave the role of his organization as well as their partners for Africa Day.
The role of the House of Nyabinghi has been foremost for many years now in Africa Liberation Day, now called Africa Day celebrations. I mean, we have always been the vanguard, pushing the whole vision of Africa, the whole vision of we as an African people, what part we need to play in all that. And we have never shook from that responsibility because we think it's something that has been happening in Dominica since 1972 actually, where African Liberation Day has always been recognized. Over the past years, we have been working with the cultural division to some extent and the National Youth Council to another extent, you know. We have been combining to, you know, just so that we can get different thoughts and different minds on deck. And it has proved to be a little challenging because maybe the energy, you know, coming out from these institutions have not really been so visible, you know, that energy. But we have been coordinating with them over the past years, and we still need that. We need to further strengthen that collaboration. The strengthening has to take the effect of black peoples generally, you know, coming together on that day. Because, like we always say, it's not a day for Rasta, it's a day for black people generally.
He gave some of the activities to take place in commemoration of this day.
Today being the day, the 54th anniversary, normally and customarily there is a march through the streets of Roseau. They'll be starting at around 4 o'clock at the Pottersville Savannah. And we'll be marching and chanting, you know. Previous times we used to have marches during the time of the apartheid era and the political liberation time. Their marches would be very effective with placards and banners bearing certain messages. But right now, as we move through and we have achieved that aspect of liberation, we march more in triumph and in victory. So we chant and we sing and we dance through the streets of Roseau. And we culminate at the Harlem Plaza, where we'll be having the rally, where we expect certain speeches we expect the Minister of Culture to be there to give a speech as the head of the cultural department or the cultural affairs of Dominica. We expect the Prime Minister or his rep to be there to give a speech. We expect people like Dr. Damian Dublin, who is head of the reparations committee, to give a speech. Also Mr. Franklin Georges, who is a staunch Pan-Africanist. We expect the House of Nyabinghi to launch the setting. So and interspersed with different poetry and different cultural presentations. We expect to have a snippet of the fashion show which took place on Friday, you know, which was very well attended, and other musical concert being part of that whole celebration and that whole aura of African liberation. And so that will be at Harlem Plaza tonight.
On Wednesday, the grade 2 class of the Convent Preparatory School visited the Government Information Service as part of their social studies class requirements on communication. Here are some scenes. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is up next with Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, travail pour un bypass en Genève en Gouambé cap en place. Bypass ça là venu nécessaire pour faciliter construction en pont pour aller Bagatelle. Membre parlement pour Gouambé, Honorable Justin Charles, visiter projet là, check temps qui passe.
Là, nous deux là, nous avons travaillé offshore marine café. Ça, c'est un lot contract qui était signé. Nous signons un contract 3 semaines qui passaient. Et offshore marine, ni pour douer un pont qui est la Geneva Bridge là. Ni pour ranger concrete là en bas pour faire plus sturdy. Et ni pour ranger même surface bridge là. So tout ce travail ça, ni pour faire. Mais avant, yo fait travail ça là. Yo supposé ben nous bypass, so Jean Bagatelle, Jean moun qui l'autre bord bridge là que ça passe. So ça yo ka fait actuellement c'est travail en le bypass là avant. So là yo fini avec bypass là, yo commence travail en le bridge là. So mais mon ça challenge là pour yo à présent déjà c'est glow because la pluie tombe de 3 jours avec ou ka ouais la vie a ti mettre fort there nous là. So because of ça yo ni un petit problème pour mettre plastique culvert là pour glow là courir dedans avec pour yo couvrir. So transport ça passe en l'air. Mais mon can hope at least glow à ça 6 cm. So at least il pas que fort comme ça que ça continue de travailler là. Mais yo comme ingénieur yo supposé ça fait là yo ni pour travailler avec ces cas de conditions ça là. Mais mon can hope c'est at least mon content en sauf là c'est travail là at least ça c'est des travail nous qui commence aujourd'hui là. So mon can hope yo ça fini yo avec tout le monde qui est content avec travail là il fini.
À la nouvelle, l'Office des Arts a mis mise en place pour une semaine d'activité pour éduquer les gens qui ont cousiné saison cyclone dans l'année 2016. M. Cecil Shillingford, c'est consultant gouvernement en l'Office des Arts Dominica.
Nous avons une semaine d'activité qui a commencé le 29 mai, qui a allé juin 4, vers ça nous qui ni c'est premièrement, nous avons demandé tout le monde, pour toute l'église, pour prier, bon Dieu, pour protéger nous pour temps hurricane ça qui a venu. Nous qui avons différents médias, radio, télévision, pour dire ça pour faire ça qui a venu, ça qui pas venu, ça pour faire des bagages comme ça. Nous avons une exhibition en government headquarters pour semaine là. Ce monde qui ouais ça bagages nous a servi en temps 3 quarts. So yo même ça ouais ça yo ça bagages comme batterie, bagages comme torchlight, bagages comme lampe ou comme mettre en caillou pour si clairter aller. So c'est un awareness pour faire mon connaissez qui yon pour préparer quoi yo bien bon pour tant ce cyclone là qui va venir.
Et puis finalement, le gouvernement Dominique a souhaité que la relation entre Cuba et l'Amérique ait tapé bon succès. Parole ça la sortie du ministre de la Santé, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, un graduate cubain. Ministre Darrow a aussi gardé devant Cuba continue à assister Dominique.
Je respecte un bon, je regarde bien pour le développement contre relation que vie fait avec l'Amérique. Et moi aussi, je souhaite une bonne chance en relation ça là. Mais je sais que même si je fais tout en 2009, mais vous savez que je rassure nous que je continue pour aider ces pays qu'on nous. Je voulais remercier l'ambassadeur Neuf là, c'est un ambassadeur qui est très actif et tout partout, et toujours regarder pour garder comment nous sommes meilleures relations avec Cuba et Dominique.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous faire un pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Before we leave, here is one announcement. Applications are invited from suitably qualified persons for the position of web developer at the ICT units. The web developer shall design and develop the websites of various ministries, departments, and units, coordinates the implementation of website development for e-government, facilitates the compilation of data following web development standards of the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica. A bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, information management system, or related field. 2 years experience in database administration, website design and administration web applications. Web publishing and content management systems are required. The successful applicants will be employed on a short-term contractual basis. Applications including certified copies of professional certificates only, detailed curriculum vitae, and 3 letters of reference confirming the applicant's required experience and skills should be submitted to the Chief Personnel Officer, Establishment Personnel and Training Department, Government Headquarters, in sealed envelopes marked confidential. Application for the position of Web Developer, Information and Communication Technology Unit, Establishment, Personnel and Training Department, and should reach no later than 4 p.m. on June 10, 2016. Further details relevant to the position can be obtained from the Information and Communication Technology Unit, email ictunit@dominica.gov.dm, and telephone number 448-0005. Read the full announcement on news.gov.dm. Here are some ways you can get clear, glowing skin. Drink water. Water cleanses the body and eliminates the toxins and waste. Avoid the sun. The sun is a great source for vitamin D. The morning sun from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is good for the skin. However, avoiding the sun after this time is very essential. And finally, get the daily dose of vitamin C because this vitamin helps in enhancing the complexion and preventing the appearance aging. That's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is now available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Shaakira Pierre. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.